All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy. It's the first full week of March. Yay. Before we know it'll be the end of March and we'll be on our way to April. Anyway, good morning. My name is, I'm your host and pilot, Uncle B. Uh, Welcome back to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are in the Junkers 52, continuing our journey across America, trying to land in all 48 lower states. Today we're going from Little Rock, Arkansas to Nashville, Tennessee. Going to be a few hours in the air today. Not sure how long, but hopefully we'll get there as expeditiously and forthwith as we can get and get on the ground, and we'll wrap things up. I don't like saying that anymore because somebody else is starting to use it. We'll end the stream once we get the aircraft parked there in Nashville. How about that? We'll talk about a few things along the way, a few things that are weighing on my mind, some recent shenanigans, I guess you could say. Yeah, so I'm going to rant a little bit. If you don't like the rant, sorry, but I'm going to rant a little bit because I think some people need to hear a few things. And if they don't like it, oh well. I don't care. I really don't. And then we'll be back. Maybe Wednesday we'll continue on from Nashville. We'll head to another destination. I'm not sure yet. Depends on how I feel tomorrow. Um, if I feel like flying on Wednesday, um, but we'll see. But we'll see if we can't get another flight in this week. Because next week I do see a week from tomorrow I see the surgeon again, and I'm a bit worried that he's just not going to like what he sees with the X-rays. I hope I'm wrong, but I have that. I kind of have a premonition that I'm going to get a little bit of a butt chewing from the surgeon, but I hope I'm wrong. I don't think but we'll see. Anyway, let's see. We are on the Southeast Asia server. There we go. We verified that. The route, of course, is already. There's the route. There is the server. And if you want to fly along, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to be low and slow. Well, not low, but I will be slow. It's not going to be a super fast trip. But anyway, so we will wait. We'll see if anybody pops in and says hello before I spawn in and get ready to leave. Arkansas for Tennessee, and let me verify. I did put in the fuel. Okay, so it is showing that. All right, perfect. I just gassed it all the way up. Good morning, Joseph. And so we got more. We should have more than enough fuel to get there. We'll see. Sometimes I think the fuel mileage thing on this is way, way off. But I just for just to make sure, I'm going to gas it all the way up, and so we should make it there with plenty to spare. So basically, we're going to take off from runway 22 left, far runway there, and we're going to hang a left turn, and we're going to climb, and we're going to move towards our first navigation aid there near Memphis, our VORTAC, which we did intercept, I believe, as we were coming down to land at Little Rock. So we're going to go there and then continue to move. GHM is our next one. That's a DME. And then finally, there's a VORTAC here by Memphis, or Nashville, I mean. We're going to kind of head towards that way, but when we're within a certain distance, we'll call into Nashville, get our landing clearance. We're going to go over for 2 right, and we'll park it. I'm not sure where it'll be parked. Our final parking spot will be, but somewhere over here, and we'll shut it down for the day. So yeah, it should be a good flight. I need to change the weather. Almost forgot about that. A few clouds. There we go. For our weather preset for the day, so it should be a nice little flight. We'll adjust the time once we spawn in. Hey, hello, and see you later, Sue. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. I had to read, double check the name before I said anything because I was like, wait, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I know who that is. So yeah, we'll take off. We'll climb out a little bit over College Station and all that, and then we'll make our way east northeast. So yeah, that's our plan for today. Well, about 10 more minutes, and we'll get going. Welcome everybody. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. If you did not, I don't know what to tell you. But if you did, congratulations. Oh, really quick before we get started, Aston Martin Formula One team is now public enemy number one in my book. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say nothing more. You are now public enemy number one in my book. The end. You had a good sleep. Well, okay, if that counts for a good weekend, then congratulations, Joseph. If that's what counts as a good weekend for you, then I guess that's fine. And I don't if it's the new bed, whatever. I don't want to know too much more information than that. Keep the rest to yourself, please. All right. So also, let me pull up the screenshot of the route. So basically, we've got some pretty. Our first leg is going to be 112 nautical miles. Our second leg, which is from MEM to GHM, that's 135 nautical miles, and then about 42 nautical miles from GHM to BNA, and then bam, we'll be right there at our airport. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a couple long legs today. Hopefully, since we're heading east, we'll have a nice kind of tailwind, maybe a bit of a crosswind, but hopefully a nice tailwind, and we'll get there a little bit quicker. But we'll see. Um, yeah, but that's the plan. Let me just make sure I have that available so I can jump between the two. All right, a few more minutes and we'll get started. We'll get in the air, give people time if they want to fly along. Gives them time to get the sim started up, get their aircraft selected. Let's see what else. Yeah, I will say there was I don't want to say it was a debate. So yeah, you know what? It's not even worth it. Never mind. Never mind. All right. A few more minutes, then we'll get started. About 6 more minutes. About 5.5, something like that. Don't be shy. Say hello. Do say hello to Joseph. Tell him how you've been. Tell him how you are. Whatever. He likes to hear those sorts of things. He likes to hear how people are doing. So say hello in the chat and tell Joseph how you're doing. Okay, please and thank you. Got the coffee down. This morning came a lot quicker than I expected. Tell you that much. Watched Scruffy last night. Matter of fact, okay. No basic gelatin. Yeah, no, that's not no thanks. I appreciate that you're basically cold calling and looking to drum up business for your whatever it is that you're trying to do, but you know, if you're gonna do that, at least like whisper somebody the you know, a statement like that. That's just poor. It just doesn't look. It's not a good look. So anyway, there we go. We got rid of that. All right, about 4 more minutes. We'll spawn in and get going here. Matter of fact, that's going to be part of the conversation as well. We got a lot to talk about today. It's not going to be story time necessarily. I'm probably going to hurt some feelings, but that's okay. Get over it. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Some people don't know how to deal with their feelings. And it shows. Whoa, whoa. See, you can get a little song on a Monday morning. How about that? Where else can you get this kind of entertainment for the low, low price of free? Tell you. How many people have ever heard the song by the Monkees called "The Last Train to Clarksville"? Do you know why people went to Clarksville back in the day? Anybody want to venture a guess? Bueller? Anybody want to venture a guess what why people went to Clarksville? And why you would take a train to Clarksville? Or why would it be considered the last? Well, yeah. Anybody want to venture a guess? Well, I'll tell you the answer later on if nobody guesses. I imagine most people are going to be like, I can't be bothered to guess. I'll just wait for him to tell me the answer. All right, I think we can go ahead and get ready to spawn in here now. I think we've waited expeditiously and forthwith. It's almost 5 a.m. In Little Rock, so I think we'll go ahead and get in here and get things set up, and let's true. You can go anywhere in the world. That is true. All right. So let's advance the time just a smidge. Yeah, that'll do. Let's get the light to dim. Turn our little handy dandy tablet on. There we go. Map up 11730, I believe is our first. 11750, not 3050. There we go, there's that. There's that. Dial in a little bit of heat into the carburetors. Let's go 35 just so that we can add more later on. Even though we don't have icing on, we'll just go ahead and dial this in just so we get some good habits. Try to minimize our bad habits that we've developed. There's that. We don't need the taxi light we can turn off, and the moving lights we can turn off. Alright. Everything looks good. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and get out of here. Away we go. Away we go. Alright, first heading of 081. There we go. airport behind us. Well, not behind us now, off the left wing. All right. Tonight we'll be on the farm unless something's changed. All right, look at that. We got our mileage, 109 nautical miles to go to our first navigation aid. All right, so let's talk. Starting to see, and it almost seems, and I might be wrong, this is a cyclical thing, but by what I mean by that is it seems that everybody who, well, not everybody, it seems for streamers there's a period of time where everything is great in their stream, right? You've got a great audience and people come in and interact in a positive way, and it's just a fantastic thing, right? And then suddenly, for no possible reason, you get one of the following. You get somebody who comes in moaning about the most ridiculous crap ever. Case in point, I drank a thing of milk and it was a day past the expiration date, and oh my god, the end of the world's coming. No, it's not. Let's be honest, if drinking a glass of milk one day past the expiration date, if that's the worst thing happening in your life, you really don't have much to complain about, let's be honest. Because there are people around the world that would gladly drink that glass of milk that is one day past the expiration date. But because we have a generation of people who have they're not grateful for anything. They have a roof over their head, they have a safe place to sleep, somebody makes them food, and you know what? They can't even be thankful for it. Now, I have to wonder sometimes, do people just come up with this stuff just so that they can say some of the most stupidest crap in the world, knowing that they're going to get a response out of somebody, and then it's like, I got somebody to respond to my idiocy. You really need to seek some professional help if that's how you live your life. You really do. Go see a therapist, go talk to a psychiatrist, something. Call 1-800 number, I don't care. But my God, the idiocy in the world today is just so mind-boggling. Somebody saying good morning, Mick. Somebody saying some hateful racist stuff in Scruffy's stream last night. All right, I had to wait till. Oh, nothing. I was waiting for them to stop talking so I could continue to talk. So anyway, yeah, last night in Scruffy's stream, somebody comes in and says some racist crap. Now, Scruffy is not the kind of person that likes to block people or anything like that, but of course, something like that is not going to be tolerated, and it shouldn't be tolerated in anybody's stream. But it's like this, it's people who have nothing better to do with their time. They're like, oh, I see somebody streaming, let me go in and say some nonsense, and oh, I got banned, ooh, look at me. You need some professional flipping help, honestly. If that's how you live your life, the problem with the world is not the world, it is you. You are part of the problem in this world. Personally, somebody ought to punch you in the throat and break your hands, not just your wrist. I'm talking about every finger, so you can't even type that kind of crap. But this moaning, oh, the world's not fair and I'm bored and nobody's paying attention to me. Go talk. You need some professional help. People treat streams like it's a therapy session, and then they get some solid advice, and you know what they do? They ignore it, and then they piss and moan, oh, my life still sucks. Well, people have given you advice and you don't even follow it. What do you expect is going to happen? Some people in this world have never been challenged deeply. They've never had to give up anything. I tell you what, go back to World War I, World War II, and listen and read about how people, they gave up things during those wars. Their food was rationed, their gas was rationed, and you know what? They got by with what they were given. But people act like, oh, dang old Malcolm, oh my God, it's just going to be the end, oh, I'm going to die. No, you're not. Not unless you got some kind of a medical condition that hasn't been diagnosed. You're going to have a little bit of a sour stomach. Your body's going to flush out that, it's going to get rid of it. It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but you're going to survive. But my God, some of you all just need a beating. I hate to say that, but you really do. Because you're ungrateful. Unbelievable. It's mind-blowing. I don't get it. Anybody who wants to come into the chat, hang out, talk, whatever, ask questions, be a part of the stream in a respectful way, anybody's welcome. But when you start saying some downright stupid crap, I'm going to have to show you the door. I do not suffer fools lightly. I don't. I do not tolerate that crap. Maybe your parents do or whatever, but I will not. I have no patience for it. I don't care what it is. Unbelievable. I was scrolled up to figure out who it was that said something because I wanted to block them so they can't come into my chat and say some stupid shit. And you get somebody, oh, I want to help you promote your channel. No, I will work on my own to promote my channel. I have friends other streamers who will give me shout outs and everything. I'd prefer that over giving somebody I don't know access to my information. I mean, in what world does that make sense? Oh, if you just share your account with me, yeah, right. You think I was born frickin' yesterday? Everybody's always looking for the shortcut. Oh, if I do this, then I'm going to get 1 million followers and I'll be fine. No. Hard work. Putting out quality content. That's how you make it happen. Not, oh, let me buy followers, or let me, this person says they're going to help me, and gee golly gosh, no. But the bad part is there's people who will buy that, who will buy into it. They're like, oh, this person sounds legit. In what world does that make sense? I got to do what everybody else is doing. No, you don't. Be an individual. Be your own person. Oh my God. I just... professional moaners. That's all they are. Oh, I'm bored. Nobody's paying attention to me. Okay. Do you really want my attention? Because I'm going to tell you what a little crap person you are. How about that? Everybody is suffering in this world. There's people who are obviously doing better than everybody else. Okay, got it. But on average, everybody is struggling in their own way. You are not the only person that is struggling in this world. Some people are struggling far worse than others. And some people are just barely getting by, and they're just thankful every day they wake up and at least they're still alive. But my God, I'm just like, I'm beyond words about the ignorance in the world today of people. Take your professional moaning and go somewhere else. Quit treating people's streams like it's your personal therapy frickin' session. Because you don't listen to advice anyway. You don't. People don't. So why do you seek it? What kind of validation are you looking for when you don't even pay attention to what people are telling you? It's like going to the doctor. The doctor says, well, if you quit smoking or quit doing this, you'll live another 15 years. And you're just like, what does the doc know? And then when you're on death's bed, you're just like, oh, I wish I... Well, too late now, isn't it? Too late. Unbelievable. And see, the bad part is, if you tell people that, you're an asshole. You're terrible. You're mean. No. I'm being realistic. Some people need to be punched in the throat and have their hands and fingers broken. They can just sit back. And then they can't say nothing. They can't type nothing. Unbelievable. It's mind blowing sometimes. But it's like it comes and goes in cycles. Everything's fine for a while, then all of a sudden, the stupidity begins anew. Either they create new accounts, or they lay low for a while, and then people forget about them, and then they show back up. Anyway, there's my ring. But I can promise you, I will not enable that kind of behavior in my chat. If somebody comes in and starts saying some off-the-wall crap like that, or moaning about some really ridiculous things like drinking a day-old carton or glass of milk or something, oh, it's one day past the... I'm just going to show you the door. I'm not even going to tolerate you. Because in the bigger scheme of things, that is not the worst thing that can ever happen to somebody in 2023. If you think that's the worst thing happening to you, you have not really lived your life. Let's scroll back here to the... Oh, it said hi to Joseph. Okay. I thought I missed a message. Anyway, there's my rant. Alright, we have just under 75 nautical miles to Memphis. Doing well, it seems, so far. We're cruising right along here. I'll lean this back to 75%. Alright, now the ads are over. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, there's people who are suffering immensely, Nick. You're right. And when you put things into perspective like that, they're just like, oh, I guess things aren't so bad after all. No, they're not. There's people who have far less than you. There's people who live like they were legit poor, went through 2 world wars, and still manage to get through. Come through it on the other side after years of having their lives rationed, their food, their fuel, their whatever. That's what boggles my mind. There's no, they have never had to give up anything. I mean, hell, in today's world, if the internet is down for more than 5 minutes, people freak out. I can't access the internet for 5. Oh, oh. They go into a meltdown. 5 minutes, and it's like it's a lifetime. Because a lot of people now, they've never grown up without the internet or smartphones. I don't think they're smartphones, they're dumb phones, because they've made people dumb. If their face isn't buried in their phone, they think that it's like they're terrible or something. Can't just put the phone down for 5 minutes. Oh my God, something's gonna happen and somebody's gonna be streaming or talking or something, and I didn't know about it. There's more to life than that. But it's like people are afraid to about that life that is more than having their smartphone with them, or their dumb phone with them. Yep. Exactly. You hit the nail right on the head there, Mick. They dwell on it, and I've done it before. I'm guilty of it too, but I don't try to bring it on to other people. But they dwell on it, but they never get on with it. You know, they just my cat coughed up a hairball, and oh my goodness. Okay, and cats do that. Yeah, but my poor cat. Okay, nobody in here is a veterinarian. You're not at a veterinarian office. You're not in one. You're not talking to a veterinarian office over the phone. What do you expect people are going to tell you? Oh my God. It's like one of the last times I was on the field. This was after I went to NTC and busted my butt. I go to the field again, and somebody goes, "Doc, I think I'm peeing blue water." No, you're not peeing blue water. That's what's in the bottom of the. Come on now, I'm not stupid. Now this is somebody out-ranked me coming in. Oh, I think I need a bag of fluids because I need fluids because I'm peeing blue water. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm not going to waste a bag of fluids and start an IV on you just because you're being foolish. That's a waste of my resources. Everybody knows that a porta-john, they put the blue water in there. This person, I had to be tactful and tell him no. You just want me to start an IV so you can just lay on a cot or on a stretcher and chill for like an hour. At least just be honest. Just tell me the God's honest truth. That's what you really want. Not, oh, I think I was peeing blue water, Doc. Oh, you better give me a bag. No. Because it's already hot outside, and somebody else may really need that bag of fluids. I'm not going to waste it on you. Have a nice day. They don't know how to get on with it. That's the thing. And I don't know if it's their parents aren't teaching them or something. There's something missing where they just, I don't know. Exactly. Exactly. And you shouldn't be embarrassed about it. It's not like it was your choice, you know. I'll tell you another thing. Like this woman, she just moved out. I think she just finished up moving out today. Now she moved into my apartment complex late last year, divorced. She's got grown kids, but she's got one daughter that's living with her, still going to, I guess, junior high or high school. I think it's junior high. And she was telling everybody her business, and I'm sitting here listening because she's talking loud. And she said, "This is not a forever stop for me. This is only temporary. As soon as I can get out of here, I'm getting out of here." And lo and behold, here we are, March 2023. She was maybe here 6 months, maybe less, gone, packed up and moved out. Good for her. She didn't. She got up. She would get up extra, or she would be up when I would get up in the morning. She would go. I think she went to the gym, right? She'd go work out, and she'd come back and then take her daughter to school. Just got on with it. She could have sat there and been miserable and woe is me and all that. Nope. If she did, she didn't show it. She just got on with it and worked to get out of here until another opportunity came up where she could go somewhere else. She didn't choose, I don't think she chose to get divorced. The way it sounded like it was like sprung on her, like her husband just filed the paperwork and was like, "I'm done with you." And she was just like, "What? Wait, what?" She just got on with it. Anyway, what time are we farming tonight there, Nixter? I need to get my boots and coveralls ready. And make sure I eat something before we get going. Double check and make sure there's been no surprise updates to any of our stuff. I'll try to check at least an hour or so before, and then let you know if there's any updates, in case you get pulled into dad duty and forget to check. Okay. So about 4 hours of okay. Fair enough. So no mucking about is what you're saying. I'll get the trees replanted so we get those growing again. We'll get the rest of the stuff cleaned up and redone and get on with it. So no mucking about, Joseph. Looking at you, Joseph. No mucking about tonight on the farm. We got 4 hours. We got a lot to do. I'll be ready. We need to bring the A game. Mick can skedaddle at about a little bit about around 10 o'clock UK time. So he's ready for the installation of the fiber. Deal with that numptiness. So I'll be ready about 12. I'll be ready by 12:30, and if we want to chit chat before we go live, we can do that. Double check all the stuff. Well, excited about the fire. Well, hopefully it's way better than whatever you've been dealing with. Oh, also, when you have time, Nick, if you could tell me what airports or what cities we're going to be doing that 747 flight from and to, and I can have a look, so I can kind of have a plan in place to make sure we get there and get on the ground nice and safe. So I have some idea of what to expect. If you could send me that info, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'll have a look-see. All right, 45 nautical miles to her. Forward tack there in the distance. In fact, let's do some shout outs to my #1 mod. I think if you go into your, where it has like your flight log, it should say what the last airport was. I'll have to look. Yeah, so my good friend Watt Mickford, my brother across the pond, will be on his farm tonight. If you want to come and hang out and watch the live stream, I will be in the voice chat with him. We might have a few laughs, but we're gonna get the farming done so we can wrap things up. I know I think it was Norway. It was you landed at, wasn't it? No, it wasn't at night. It was like on the edge of the land. You had to come around. You made like a wide right turn and then lined up and landed. Yeah, he is friendly. Bergen. Okay, I'll have to look to see what their next stop is from Bergen. Yeah, that should be in Norway, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because I remember you were like Bergen. I think that airport should be large enough to handle a 747. See, that's the sad thing is A lot of these places that you used to fly 747s in and out of just aren't doing it anymore, like especially passenger service. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. And then in fact, probably. Get their schedule. Future Pass Tour 2023. Okay, so we're going to Sweden next. Salzburg, Sweden. And from there to Leipzig. Okay. Norway to Sweden. Alright. Alright. Joseph, you always say that and then you're never ready. Make sure you go to the shop, get your crisp now. Don't wait till later. We gotta get in there and get cracking. We've only got we've got a 4-hour window of time. The more we get done, the better. So you better do your shopping ahead of time. Get your snacks, get your drinks, whatever. I've got 2 cheese and ham toasty and a pack of chips, crisps. I'm telling you, Joseph, you're so lucky Bex is in here right now. Oh, so those are like, what is it, like in America they call them hot pockets. They have, it's like a, yeah, so it sounds like something like a hot pocket. You can throw them in the microwave or something. Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty popular. They it's like one of those afternoon things that if kids get home from school, they can throw one of those in the microwave. It'll tide them over till dinner time. All right, 31 nautical miles. I don't know about them really nice. They're adequate, Joseph. It's not something you would want to eat daily. But here in America, they're basically marketed for kids coming home from school waiting for their parents to get home for dinner, or like all their friends have come over after school, and it's just like something cheap that they can get their friends or whatever for something to eat. I don't know, but it's not something that I would venture to say is healthy. Fruit would probably be the better option, but what do I know? A bit of a crosswind there, pushing us off course. Too terribly far off, but well, thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully you're doing well on this Monday. First full week of March. I like pointing things like that out. Just to drive people a little crazy. Oh! Also, should give a shout out to my virtual airline boss. Being foolish, or did I do it wrong? Nope. I might be just running a little bit behind. Today's flight is brought to you by Parasox Airline. Parasox Airline, just because you have a pair of socks does not mean they have to match. Airline CEO Scruffy Tam will show you that his socks, in fact, do not match. If you ask him nicely, he'll show you himself. On camera. During a stream, no less. Or else you can get that kind of entertainment for a low price of free. Scruffy has started he has a merch store. He's got shirts and stuff. And he now has Parasox Airline coffee mugs. So if you want to support Scruffy and everything that he's doing in the flight sim community, you go check out his Twitch channel. There should be a link to his merch store there, I believe. So yes, I have ordered a Parasox Airline coffee mug. Can't wait to get it. Have my first cup of coffee in it. I'll feel all official while I'm flying for Parasox Airline. Yeah. So do go check them out. Go check out the merch store. If you're able to buy some merch, please do so if you feel it in your heart that you can. Yeah, he did some fantastic flight in Italy on Saturday. Hey, Planet Neutral, how are you? Nice to see you here. I did some flying yesterday in New Zealand. Give Planet Neutral a shout out. Try to pay it forward. I'm really out. Now that I had my rant out of the way earlier, got that out the way, I will say, I'm truly thankful for the people who continue to shout me out even when I'm not putting out a lot of content right now because of my arm. Um, but I'm really thankful for that. I don't expect it, but it's always nice to have that kind of support still. And so yeah, I like to try to pay it forward. I haven't been in Planet's stream in quite some time, and I need to go in there and hang out because I tell you, it's a nice, chilled. From what I have seen of Planet Neutral, it's a nice, chilled place, and that's what some people need. That, and that's good. Yeah, there. And Scruffy was talking about it last night. There's some really wonderful people in the community, all supportive of one another, always there to lend a hand with some, whether it's advice on setups or, just helping streamers grow their channel, whatever. You know, um, it's fantastic. I'd say overwhelmingly the community is pretty positive. There are those outliers who aren't for whatever reason. Oh, it must have been right after I got off the got off for the evening. 'Cause I did kind of. I've been trying to go to bed a little bit early because it takes me a while to settle in. Try to find a position of comfort to where I can finally start to doze off. Um, but that's awesome. But yeah, I'd say that it's overwhelmingly the community. I'm really thankful because everybody that I've met along the way, there's always somebody else that I meet that is a positive influence, always willing to help new streamers out, or just engaging and all that. Um, yeah, okay, yeah, I was already in bed, trying to settle down. Yeah, it's not easy to do with this arm. It's just I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I have a bad feeling that next week when I go see the surgeon, he's not going to be happy with me. I just have that. I don't know why. I just got that gut instinct. But we'll see. Hopefully he's like, yep, everything still looks good. It just doesn't feel like everything is good. But I don't know if that's because of the weather or if I'm just imagining things, or I don't know. But yeah, I'm really thankful. It all started. I've said this before. It all started with Captain RS raiding my channel last year. If that hadn't happened, I don't know that my channel would be where it is right now. It was like a domino effect. I beat Captain RS, and then I meet Allison, and it just kept going, and that's a good thing. You keep meeting all these people who are just wonderful people, and nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's perfect, but they're on average, everybody's wonderful, and they're always willing to help new streamers or new flight simmers. Even if you don't stream, if you just like, oh, I'm struggling with this thing and I don't quite understand it or whatever, you know. But yeah, it all started there. If he hadn't raided my channel, I mean, maybe eventually I would have met people, but I don't know. Yeah, yeah. And I know Scruffy does the same thing. I think Sergeant Staff does it as well. That they try to find people that are, have a low viewer count and raid. Even if they got like 7 or 8 people watching and they raid, it's still like it's still it's something that you don't expect. You're just like, what is it? Like first time I saw it happen to somebody, I thought it was like a bat. I'm like, oh, somebody's coming in to cause trouble, But no, it's a good thing. Oh, okay. How was I supposed to know? I don't quite understand all this streaming stuff, but yeah, it all started there, and it, not that I didn't have help before that, but um, sometimes having somebody else give you some ideas or some pointers or whatever, it's like the pieces of the puzzle start to come together. Like, that's the best way I can say it. You know, the picture was a bit incomplete, but you get some more pieces, and you're like, okay, now things are starting to make sense. These are things I can do to help my channel grow and things like that. But it is difficult because, I mean, in a way, you're competing with other streamers, right? Whether you see it that way or not, you have to find a way to set yourself apart from everybody else. Like Scruffy's thing is his socks. Oh, stole shamelessly from him. But Scruffy has his socks, so that's his thing. That's his brand, right? And Captain Arash is the Compass Club, and he doesn't use GPS. He navigates the old-fashioned way. Everybody has their own little take on things. And yeah, you're like, oh, I can kind of take that and fit it into my streaming or whatever, and you know, you can kind of tailor it for how you do things. Now, I don't know that I would have a sock cam. Okay, yeah. I don't know that I'd ever go that far, but but it's still a there's plenty of things. The no rules, just flight. Fly how you want to, what you want to. I think that's a good way to approach it. Not every streamer may think about that. They're like, oh, if I'm flying a fighter jet, you got to fly a fighter jet, or if I'm flying an airliner or whatever. So yeah, those things do tend to work. It just doesn't seem like it at first. You're like, no, I'd rather, but then after a while you're like, okay, I can see that makes sense. But yeah, it's everybody's got their thing, and that's good. You just find a way to adopt it to your thing. The tools in the toolbox. That's how I always look at it. The tools in the toolbox. And if you adapt some of those things, yeah, you can do a lot with a stream. But I think a lot of people give up because they don't feel like people will show up to watch the content, or there's always some, like I always use the radio production class that I took. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect the first time I went in the little studio. 11, 16. But but I got in there and I started doing it, and the more comfortable part of it was, once I knew how to add music myself, then it was like it was game on. Because once I was comfortable with that, then it was like there was no stopping me. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Finding your niche, finding that little thing that sets you apart from everybody else. Like, a lot of people would tell me, oh, you should be a wedding photographer. And I'm just like, but what am I going to offer that's different than every other wedding photographer out there? Most wedding photographers have been doing it for quite some time, and they've developed their brand. No pun intended. They've got their brand. They've got their, they're known for a certain style or whatever, right? And that's where Uncle B was born in Afghanistan. But when I was thinking about, okay, who can I be on the radio, and I'm like, there we go. It just made sense. And so once I adopted that and I figured out how to add music to the computer, then I'm like, it's a lock. Because it wasn't about what music you played, but if you play music that you like, then it just makes things a little bit easier, right? Just like if I could find the first show I did, I was just like, blah, 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 blah. Up next, blah, 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 blah. Like I had no, I'm just like, this isn't me. I had to make it me in order to get through the class, and it worked. You have to make your stream you in order for it to work. You can find things that other people are doing to adapt to your stream, but you shouldn't be copying it outright. Other than like what Planet Neutral said about, people can fly whatever kind of plane they want to fly, or they want to fly helicopters, or they want to fly a glider, whatever it is. Hey, fly what you want to. I'm just going to get on with flying this. But people, I don't. Well, some people do seem that is something they're like. Well, I want to see the streamer. I'm not. See, the problem I have with that is if you do that, right, it's going to be kind of like a shakedown period where you're going to have to get through the people who are going to come in and talk nonsense about how you look as a person. Oh, you look like this. Oh, you have this look on your face. That kind of stuff. Good morning, Paradox. I don't, me personally, it doesn't matter. I still watch Scruffy even if I can't see him. Now, it does help, I think, if you have like he's got a side camera that shows him working the controls, right? He's got the throttles and the yoke and the trim wheel and all that kind of stuff. I think that helps, like if you're trying to figure out stuff like setups and all that. But or even Captain Arish, I would still watch his stream even if he doesn't have a camera, right? Because it's more about yeah, some people might, but I think I use a crappy camera to sit in the dark, and most people leave me alone. But yeah, it's I think it's a very. I mean, some people are comfortable on camera, and some people aren't, but also a part of it is when do you stream, or what kind of viewers you're going to get during that time period. Like if I streamed right now and I was on cam, I think I would be okay. But my thing, I mean, yeah, that's true. I agree with that. I don't know. I think I'll cross that bridge once I'm on the PC side, because yeah, I may, or I'm like not sure. Yeah, I think many people like. I think people can tell when you're not comfortable, but they're just like they'll be there to kind of support you regardless. They'll talk to you, they'll interact with you. Um, but I mean, I thought about it. I'm like, part of me is like, nah, it's just gonna be one of those things, because I thought about, and I'm still, this is what I'm considering, right? Should when the time comes I get a PC and I want to do the camera thing, what I think I'm going to do is kind of borrow from Scruffy's idea of the socks, but I'm going to do not an issue for Sim Caesar. Yeah. See, some people, yeah, I think what Nick said was right. Some people don't get on camera and they do very well because maybe it's their voice. Other people, they have a voice and people are looking. Oh, I can see the person. I can put a voice with a face, and they're really happy with that. Um, but but I was thinking about having a tie, whereas it's so, my tie of the, or my tie of the day kind of thing. Now sometimes the tie might be butt ugly, let's see, today's, like ugly tie Tuesday or something, but if you're gonna do it, I think if you have kind of like a gimmick with it, like what Scruffy does with the socks, right? Obviously you can't do something like underwear of the day or something like that, but something that is easily, people are like, oh, that's a cool tie, those are cool socks, or whatever. you know something, you know that way you own it, and that way nobody can basically, I think, can ruin it for you. It's just like when I was in the army. The second time I went back in, I was much older. Everybody's like, "Oh, you were with George Washington when they crossed the Potomac in the winter, and yada. You were Valley Forge." I'm like, "Yeah, I was. What about it?" I didn't let it get to me and say, "Oh, you guys are making fun of my age and you're jerks." I'm just like, "Yeah, I was. What about it?" You know. So if you own it like that, and you say, "Yeah, it's Ugly Tie Tuesday," and everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's an ugly tie." Yeah, because that's why it's Ugly Tie Tuesday. you know, it deflates the silliness that people are going to try to come in and have a go, I guess, for lack of a better term. You've already deflated them. You know. And that way they can't come in and ruin the stream as much as they may try to. So I have thought about that, but I don't know. Then it's like, okay, now I got to start buying ties. I mean, I have a bunch of ties, and I think some of them are very nice. And there's matter of fact, the one that's in my profile picture, that's probably not a very pleasant looking tie. It's a bit yuck, but but part of that too means is there's like a whole preparation, right? You gotta at least look halfway presentable, dress shirt or some collared shirt of some kind, and a tie, and yeah, mixed with the laugh, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I learned that a long time ago, and I've told this story, and I don't mind repeating it because it bears repeating. When I worked for a company called ETAC, we made the maps for the in-car navigation systems, and I was what they call a digital cartographer. Basically, you have lines that are color coded based on the freeway was a class something or other, right? And it has a certain color, and then the off ramps, and then your street levels and all that. Oh, and yeah, that too, Nick. And so when I moved to the training department for a short while, we picked a subject out of a hat, or whatever, right? We had to draw a subject out of something, and mine was how to do a home perm. And I'm like, I don't know how to do a home perm. How would I was supposed to know? So I made the subject my own and turned it into how would you buy a permanent home, or basically like how would you buy your first home. But I said this is going to be how to buy a permanent home, and when the manager of the training department was like, I don't remember that. Oh, thank you, appreciate that, Planet Neutral. How She said, I don't remember writing that down. And she looked at it and she said, that's original. Nobody had ever done that before, where they took a subject and turned it into something that they felt comfortable talking about. So sometimes it's not so much that like if you can just think on the fly, for so to speak, and make a subject your own. Just like the one kid I kind of used to mentor at the community college. Oh, I don't know how to talk. I said, what are the things that you're passionate about? Well, football. I said, okay, well then take your passion for football and just find a way to turn it into being able to talk to other people. But that's okay. I don't always either, but I always rely on how I felt. Like, I talk about the Nut Tree Airport. Back when the Nut Tree, they had this huge bookstore, and they had military aviation books, they had civil aviation stuff. Like if you were studying for your private pilot license, they had all the study materials and everything, And so I draw upon that. Like that's the thing that I miss, And so coming back and doing flight simming, it kind of brought back all those feelings of loving aviation and all that. So that's what I kind of relied on. And so yeah, it's just I use that. Pivot. I don't know that I've ever seen that, or I don't know that book, but I'll have to look that up. But yeah, if you find a way to basically, I think, use your, something that you're passionate about, and apply it to what you're doing as a simmer or whatever the case may be. People are going to, oh, okay, yeah, there you go. So if you do that, then it's like you get that, I don't know, it just makes things a little bit easier to do, I think, personally. Oh, a little airport down there below us. You own the subject, and then people will listen to you. They'll be drawn to you. Like when I was a kid, and I build all these model planes, and I would, my mom would have these holiday parties every year for Christmas. She would invite people over from work, and I would, I was a bit of an aviation geek, and so everybody's like, oh, what's the latest model you built? And I'd tell them, and I'd tell them what the aircraft is and what it does and all that stuff. And even if they weren't interested, people would sit there and listen. Like if they didn't care one way or the other, really, maybe it was a rhetorical question in retrospect. But I would say, oh yeah, this is the F-4 Phantom, and this is what it does, and the Marines and the Air Force and the Navy flew it, and da-da-da-da, all these things, and they're like, oh wow. So if you translate that into, the things that you do, or, that a love of something, you could say, oh, I saw this interesting book the other day about the Junkers 52, and I didn't know the guy who started Junkers, and things like that. So then it's like you know a little bit about the person who created the aircraft, the company, Junkers, and he was basically forced out by the Third Reich and things like that. Then people are like, wow, I didn't know that. Just like when Viper Strike's been flying, I learned stuff about some of the areas that he's been flying over. Same thing with Sergeant Staff. Like, I had no idea all these ships had sunk in the Great Lakes. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I never knew that. you know, and it's fascinating stuff. And he's got the pictures of these ships underwater, and he's got the music that goes with it and all that stuff. It's a lot of work, but when people can tell that you're passionate about sharing that knowledge of an area of the world, even especially if it's your local, like I love flying around the Bay Area and pointing out things, because I grew up around there. I can point out where Naval Air Station Alameda used to be. I can point out where Moffett Naval Air Station used to be. Alcatraz, the bridges, Treasure Island, everything. So it is, I think part of it is, oh, there goes the ads. But part of it is just knowing, finding that kind of a bit of a niche and just owning it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And just working at it, doing the work. That's the important part. Not shortcutting or anything like that, but doing the work to get there. I think that's the part most people forget. I mean, if somebody told me last year or so ago that I would be an affiliate on Twitch, I would have been like, yeah. Oh, oh. Thank you for being here. All right, so this is I think our longest leg yet. 134 nautical miles. I think this DME, the signal must not be very strong because we still haven't picked it up yet. But we should get a signal soon, I think. Once that needle goes live, then we'll know that how much farther we got to go, and then we got a short 40, what did I say, 41, 42, what does it say, 42 nautical miles for the next leg after that. So we're making our way. So appreciate everybody being here. Nice to see everybody. Nice to talk to everybody. I don't expect I'll ever be like the world's greatest streamer. Matter of fact, I prefer not to be. I just try to do my thing. If people appreciate it, they do it. If not, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to keep me from firing up the sim and doing something. And the way I look at it is, if you don't like the plane I'm flying or whatever, well, that's on you. It has nothing to do with me. Yeah, we've been doing. I think this flight's gone very well. Oh, matter of fact, before I forget, I got to get I haven't been outside a while just to even see if anybody's flying along with me. Let's get our picture for the flight. I love it too. I did not think I would I wasn't sure it was going to be a plane that I was going to really enjoy this much, but it has been a way more fun than I expected. Now I did get the caribou the other day. I tried it out a little bit while I was watching Scruffy's stream get started, and it is not an easy plane to fly. It took me a while. It does tend to kind of drift, but I don't know if that was more of a. I think I was in the live weather at the time, but once I did kind of get it leveled off, but it was just trying to keep it on, keep it going straight. It either wanted to kind of drift to the left or to the right. So I don't know if that's just something that is normal, or I don't know, but it is a fantastic plane. The startup though is a bit suspect. The automated checklist doesn't exactly work as I expected it would. So I think that's my only complaint. But if that's my only complaint, then I guess it's not too terribly bad. But yeah, it's a pretty neat plane. It does take off very quickly, like just like this plane does. Once you reach a certain speed, it just automatically will lift off on its own. So yeah, I like to get a flight in that at some point. There's so many things I've been saying, like the what do you call it? There's so many planes that I keep saying I want to fly, and I haven't gotten around to it, and I just need to. Uh, I just need to put the time in, like oh, what do you call it? The Concorde and stuff like that. I just need to do it. I just gotta make it happen. But it's like setting aside the time to knock out a couple flights just to feel comfortable with it. And the other thing too with the A310, I know that 737 pilot, 737NG, I think is his YouTube channel. Um, I I think in order for me to learn how to set everything up properly, I need to follow his flight plan input at the same airport and everything, so that I can do it step by step, and take notes, and like understand things a little bit better. Um, so yeah, but I did try it out a couple times. But the first time I started up, I took off. I was in Hawaii. I took off, and then all of a sudden my little navigation screen thing that's down in between the two seats, it went completely dark. I could not get it turned back on. So I don't know what happened, but either that, or I didn't follow the startup correctly, or I relied too much on the automated checklist. So yeah, but it is a pretty cool plane, not gonna lie. So but yeah, there's so many things that I keep saying I'm going to do this, and then I get sidetracked. I go on other games. Not that I'm complaining. I don't want people to think that I'm, you know, I do enjoy playing games with other people, but it's just like I don't do the things that I want to do, and then I suffer for it. You know, I don't. Uh, I just have to say no to things, and be okay with that. No. This almost got a long way to go still. I think this is a good time, although I think the plane's going to kind of drift a little bit, but that's okay. It'll be fine. There's always time to fix it and get back on track. I think I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back and put the view outside there. There we go. I'll be right back, folks. Sit tight. All right, I'm back. Still haven't picked up the signal. That's all right. Could do if we want, we can have a look ahead, zoom out if we want, but I don't think we're too close yet. We're just going to wait for that signal to pop in and that needle to go live, and then we'll know how much farther we got to go. I'm going to guess it's going to be probably close to 134, so I'm guessing maybe when we're about 75 nautical miles out is when we're going to get the signal. I could be wrong. That's just a guess. But yeah, there's a lot I still want to do. I like to say that I at least did a Concorde flight. Thanks, Joseph. Yeah, I like to say at least I did that. So can't believe it's been almost a year already since I went to did the trip to Roanoke, Virginia. Went to the train museum there. Did not get to ride the train I really wanted to ride. It was not there. It was sent elsewhere. Norfolk Southern and the museum were having a bit of a tiff with each other. And, at least that's the sense that I got. That's what I was told. At there's a museum. He's a photographer. And I can anyway. This guy who took a lot, he lived in the area and took a lot of pictures of the early Norfolk Railroad. And it's all black and white. Like the museum, they have a kind of show what his dark room setup looked like and everything. And the person running that museum was telling me that there'd been some kind of a issue with the actual railroad museum across the railroad tracks up across a bit. But yeah, then I went to a car show there. That was fantastic. It just so happened going there and then doing the car show the next day. It was like a double whammy. And if you go to my Flickr, I think there should be a link to my Flickr account if you look for the Roanoke car show stuff. There's pictures. I don't think I took a picture of every car, but at least a lot of different interesting things. If you're a car fanatic, you'll see a lot of classic cars, some newer hot rods. Well, I wouldn't even say hot rods, like newer Mustangs and Chargers and Challengers. I don't remember if anybody had Camaros there. Well, they had the older Camaros, but not the newer. I don't think anybody had the newer one. But yeah, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, really enjoyed it. I can't believe it'll be a year in the summertime. It flies. Wait. No, it'll be 2 years. What am I talking about? Not 1 year, 2 years. It was 2021. 2 years. My goodness. Whew. Man. Well, this plane is kind of going all over the place. Must be a lot of crosswinds here. Yeah, it would be 2 years. Yeah, because that'll be when that was towards the end of June, because I came back here in July, and I think like a day or two later, or something like that, is when Microsoft Flight Simulator got released. Sometime in July, I was able to get it downloaded and started flight school. I can't believe it would be 2 years this June since I've been playing this thing. Wow. Oh, 2 years this July, not June. Where has the time gone? I did a big old tour. Went to Roanoke for a couple days, went to Vegas to see my buddy. Vegas. Stopped off in the Bay Area for a few days. Back to the hometown, and then went to Savannah for a few days. 4th of July weekend, kind of in Savannah. Didn't go watch the fireworks, but that's okay. Just kind of stayed at my hotel room and watched TV. I know where Joseph's going off to. Somebody's on Snow Runner. Mm-hmm. Okay, Joseph. Now he'll disappear. Now that he checked in and said, "Oh, I'm still here," now he's going to bugger off. It's okay, Joseph. You want to watch Jason do Snow Runner for a while? It's fine. We've got plenty of flying still left to do. Oh, wait a minute. 53, 52. Oh, I was waiting for this needle to go live. I don't know when I just figured we'd check. Oh, we only have 52 nautical miles to go to our next navigation aid. There we go. Yeah, we're just cruising right along. Well, if you could touch, I don't know how you would do that, Joseph. Well, that's okay. Mick's got the ruler. As soon as you reach for anything, he'd smack your hand, and that'd be the end of that. So, let's see. Streaming says the session's been an hour 53, so I think we're doing well on time. We got one more leg to go after this, and then we'll be good to go. So we're cruising right along. I think even we've had a bit of a crosswind, but I think overall the weather's been, we haven't had too many issues, so. So, yeah, we're cruising right along here. Speed's been fairly steady. Yeah. You know what? I haven't seen Amela. I thought Amela would have popped in and said hello by now. Maybe Amela's busy, or I don't know. I haven't seen Amela in a while. What'd you do to upset Amela, Joseph? Did you do something? Did you say something to Amela? Did you try to take Amela's food? Is that what happened? Try to nick his sandwiches or his chips or something? Did you get sassy with Amela? Okay, of course. Hopefully we see Amela again soon. All right. So yeah, later today, farming with Mick. Nothing tomorrow. I don't have any plans for tomorrow. Um, and then maybe Wednesday we'll do something. I don't know. Just depends on how I feel. I'm getting a little concerned I might be overdoing it because I have been playing Division 2. The next season of content had come out, and I've been grinding on that, but I kind of feel like either I sat too long and didn't move my arm around, and now it's kind of gotten all tense again. And so I don't know if I did something wrong or what it might be that's causing the issue. So I think I need to take it easy. We'll still be there tonight, but I think tomorrow it's gonna be a light day with classroom instruction. We should have spaghetti for dinner. Kidding. Oh, so Clarksville. Nobody has guessed why anybody would take the train to Clarksville. Anybody? I'm gonna ask again. Does anybody want to venture a guess why anybody would take the train to Clarksville? What happened? What is near Clarksville? Anybody want to venture a guess? No, I'm good. I'll be there tonight. I think I'm just going to take tomorrow. I'm just going to kind of take it easy, and then if it feels a little bit better, then I may fly Wednesday. But what I may do instead is just not do anything tomorrow or Wednesday, and then maybe. It won't be Thursday. I won't do anything Thursday. So maybe just a couple days of rest. I'm fine. I think I kind of get the sense that maybe I'm worrying too much about it. You know, I'm over. You know, but no, it's fine. I'll be there to help you get things sorted on the farm and all that. So no, it's fine. I think I just need to. After today, I just have a couple days of just not doing anything too heavy, and then I think I'll be okay. But the I'll really know for sure if I get the dirty look from the surgeon. But it may just be that because I've not really used it for a couple months now, and now trying to kind of get in the back of the swing of things, I may have overdone it a little bit, but that's okay. I'm fine. We're just gonna get on with it, Mick. That's what we're gonna do. I've got the splint next to me, and I may wear that while we stream tonight, just to kind of have a bit of more support. I've got a pillow here that I can lay across my lap and kind of have a bit more cushiony support as well. So no, we'll be fine. I wouldn't miss it for the world. We'll get the trees planted, get stuff harvested. Let Joseph chase the dog around the middle of the street and see what happens. No, we're good. We're good. So nobody any guesses at all about Clarksville? Going once, going twice, going 3 times, the Joseph. All right, so Clarksville is near Fort Campbell, Kentucky. And if you listen to the song by the Monkees called The Last Train to Clarksville, basically it is about a soldier, somebody who has either been drafted or they volunteered and they're going to Vietnam. And so they're taking the last train to Clarksville and they're saying goodbye to somebody that they're very fond of. And so that's where it comes from. That's the premise behind the last train to Clarksville. Is from there, if they took the train. There is a small airport there, but they would take the train to Clarksville, and they would then the Army would pick them up and take them to Fort Campbell, Kentucky for training and all that before being shipped off to Vietnam. So there you go. But Mick, you said you needed a couple days to let the fibers settle in and let the system kind of sort itself out. But if you want to fly Wednesday, I'll be happy to be there with you. It's fine. I'm okay either way. I was just thinking about Wednesday if I wanted to fly. If not, it wasn't like it was set in stone. It wasn't a definite going to happen kind of thing. So, but no, if you want to fly Wednesday, if you're really serious about it, we'll fly Wednesday. It's no problem to me one way or the other. I like to be your virtual co-pilot. You know, upset a few people because I'm there and they're not. Well, you know, Mick, you could make Joseph your virtual co-pilot and see how he gets on with it. It's if he's been paying attention to your streams, if he knows. It's fine, Mick. I'm okay. I'm just saying it's a little sore. I don't know that it's anything I've done. It may just be the cold weather we've had. It's just causing it to, it's the arthritis is kicking. I don't know. It could be any number of things. I hope I've not done. I don't think I have. I keep assessing it, throughout the day. And, as long as I have feeling in my fingers and I know, okay, things aren't too terribly bad. It's just maybe, it might just even be part of the healing process. I don't know. I've never, this is a whole new thing to me because I've never had a broken bone like this before. So I may be overanalyzing it at the same time. But if you want to fly Wednesday, I will be there. I can assure you. I will have my notes on the 747 with me at the big computer. If we need, So I have that as a backup because I haven't flown it in a while, so I don't always remember everything about the 747, but I have my notes. Yeah. No, take Joseph, drive, but drive sensibly tonight on the farm. Don't just creep along at ungodly slow speed. Just let's get things done tonight, okay? If you have an accident, it's okay. We're going to make a little bit of fun of you, but it's okay. We'll give you a bit of grief over it. But look, Mick had accidents last time. I had some accidents last time. Chris did. Jody, I don't think Jody did, but Chris did as well. It's okay. It's all right. But if your controller's acting up, just say so, because we like to get things done tonight. Okay, that's what I'm getting. The bottom line is, if your controller's acting up, say something, please. Just say my controller something's not working. We'll get it sorted. I think if Chris is there tonight, he'll be in the chat with you. Just ask Chris for help. Exactly. Exactly. Don't, you know, just say something. Trying to drive the tractor to the to the sawmill doing like 5 miles an hour isn't going to help. Yeah, if we want to fly Wednesday, I will be there Wednesday. If we want to fly, matter of fact, if we want to fly again this weekend, whatever, we'll do that too. Hey, there's Isabella. Well, if Chris isn't there, one of us will come and help you. Just you got to ask for help, Joseph. Don't make us guess or wonder what's going on. That's the thing. Long time no see, Amela. I was just wondering, like, what happened to Amela? I thought maybe Joseph like sassed you or something. You just didn't want to be bothered with him no more. Or maybe Joseph tried to nick your sandwiches or your chips or something. I don't know. But yeah, just if you're stuck, Joseph, or if something's not working, just say something, please. That's all. I had leftover pork loin for dinner last night because I know you're gonna. Yeah, I was like, man, I haven't seen Amela in a while. I thought maybe you were busy or something had happened, or it's nice to see you. Nice to see you here. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm doing okay. Just still slowly recovering, and Mick is. I was thinking about flying Wednesday, and Mick's like, no, he's gonna fly Wednesday. I'm gonna do the virtual co-pilot thing again. Help him get through the. No, I streamed Saturday. It was like an unplanned kind of an afternoon thing. Did a couple hours in the air to from Chicago to Denver in the A320. And then so yeah, just kind of trying to get back to things a little bit at a time, but trying not to overdo it. It's easy to not, well, flight simming, at least this part, like, I don't feel like I'm overdoing it, just flying along here and just kind of keeping the plane going the right direction. Looter shooters, on the other hand, because I have been playing that game. But I think the trigger, with hitting the trigger all the time and stuff like that, I think I may have it's like I think my arm's a little irritated from the chicken and broccoli. I almost went across the street last night for some chicken and broccoli, but then I'm like, no, I still got leftover pork loin in the fridge. I need to eat that up, so I did. So, but yeah, I'm doing okay. Just I ranted earlier about some shenanigans going on in the last few days. Not necessarily anybody. Well, some people in particular, but not anybody we know. Not close. Anybody that we know from the years of watching other streamers. Yeah, I just had to get a few things off my chest. That's all. Oh, Joseph. Oh, you missed it. I don't know. Maybe you know. Joseph got a new bed the other day, Camilla. Now, how he broke that bed in is nobody's business. But he said he had a good night's sleep. So he's good. Whatever that means, we don't want to know. I implored him not to give any pertinent details about his new bed and what happened in it. Well, that's nobody's business but his own. But anyway. But yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Always nice to see familiar faces and new faces. Always enjoy that. Yeah, I had to warn him though. I didn't want him to start I didn't want him to start spewing details that nobody needed to be privy to. Yes. I understand it, is unless something. Well, see, yes, the Wasm fix with Sim Update 12 should be out by the end of the month. But I hope that's the case. I'm trying not to be a negative Nancy, but you know, as we get closer, it's like I'm going to be holding my breath, saying, "Okay, it's going to be here next week," and then hopefully that is what's going to happen. Not that Jorg or not Jorg, but somebody, I think like Jane or one of the other community managers is going to say, "Well, here's the deal, folks. We've had to delay it because of," and then it's just, I'm hoping that's not the case, but I'm trying not to be. I'm trying to be optimistic, but not overly so. There we go. But yeah, I'm hoping to see that, and then. But the question then will be, how quickly will we start to see the better aircraft? Will it be the following week? Will it be throughout April? Will it be staggered? Or will it just be, bam, here's everything? Have at it. So I don't know really. I'm cautiously optimistic. But we'll see. Because I would like to get at least one of the PMDG 737s, because right now the only Boeing aircraft that we have in the sim is either was already in the sim. We have a 737 from Braddock, which is and Captain Sim put out a 767 on Thursday last week. I watched a review of it. It's not bad. I mean, for $20, it's okay. But just know that it's not going to be something that's going to be updated and improved upon over time. It is what it is. You get what you get, and that's all you get. So I would like one of the 737s, probably the 800. From what I heard, that seems to be the most popular model among simmers because it's the one that most airlines still fly in real life, although I think they got grounded again for some reason or another. I would like to get the DC-6 as well. And maybe if they do arrive, one of the CRJs, just to have a different regional jet available. Because the Embraer ones, they're okay, but I like to have an option. There's not many. I think more airlines fly the CRJ than they do the Embraer, at least here in America. Some still do, but not many for regional service. Because I think here at the airport up the road from where I live, it's traditionally been CRJs, not Embraers. Yeah, so I'm hoping we get that. So at least I have an option as far as a regional jet service. So, but we'll see. I don't even know that they're doing those kinds of flights out of the airport up the road from where I live anymore. Or if it's a seasonal, it might be a seasonal thing. Because if not, you got to go to Syracuse, or you got to go down to, I think there's a regional airport down in Scranton, or you got to go to all the way up to New York City or something. But Syracuse is only an hour or so away. All right. Next one is 1410. All right. So we are finally. We got a little bit more to go. Our last leg here. We'll intercept that DME. I don't know when we were starting to see the distance. That's okay. We made it. Little airport right there. But yeah, hopefully, but other than that, I can't see anything else coming out that, other than maybe the Corsair, and that'd be about it. So just only a handful of aircraft once that gets released. But the thing is knowing how long is it going to take for us to start to see stuff. That's the one thing that I don't know. Will be, 1410, right? Yep. All right. True heading is 064. Boy, we are starting to drift. The right. All right. Last leg, folks. Yeah, I don't know. They, that was something I think that they asked in one of the recent, the last time they had a Q&A session, that they, that was something they weren't too sure. I don't think Jorg had he didn't give like a solid answer. He just knows that it's a concern as to how long will it take before we start to see stuff. But we'll see. But that's the big question, and that's if sim update 12 isn't delayed because of the beta testers feel that not everything had been corrected to their satisfaction before they release it. Because I think they'll do like they did with sim update 11. If they feel it's not ready, they'll delay it into April. But I think everybody's chomping at the bit here. Would like to start seeing some quality stuff. So I think they're keen on getting it out because they want to get more people to buy the AN225. Like, I think it's done very well on the PC side, but if they can get it out on the Xbox side very quickly, that's more money that they're gonna. That's a good question. I don't know. I would think it would make sense, but also at the same time, it's hard to say. Like, financially, it would make sense for them to do that because people, I think, are like, they're a bit hungry for some other aircraft, and they're, but if they just release them, like everything at once, it may overload the system. I don't know. But I think at a minimum, I think if they get all the stuff from PMDG out, the DC-6, the AN225, and the CRJs, if they can get those 4 things out right, or 4 because they're what I think PMDG has 4 different 737 models out right now. So for the DC6, that's 5, AN225, that's 6. This, at least one model of the CRJ, that's 7. So if they can get those stuff out right away, I think that would kind of tide people over until everything else, and then they can start pushing, other stuff. But if they can get at least those 7, or maybe like even the Corsair, 8 things, yeah, or maybe let's say round it out. If they can get 10 planes that they think that the Xbox community will snap up, buy right away, first day, I think they'll make a boatload of cash. And that would go a long way. So 8, maybe the Boeing 247 Delta, and maybe the Twin Otter. There we go. Those 10 things, if they can get those 10 things out right away, yeah, I think people would buy it. They would spend the money. Possibly. They may not buy all 10 things, but at least they would give people something to pick from that they've been waiting for. For some people, maybe it's the Corsair. For some people, it's one of the PMDG planes, whether it's the 737 or the DC6. At least if they do that. But that's really up to them. It goes away on its own, Lucius. Thank you for the question. How are you? Yeah, if you don't move anything, it just kind of disappears on its own. But for this one, I push in on the left thumbstick, push down on it, and then that gives me that menu. But the little white dot goes away, it's on its own. Yeah. But if I move the right thumbstick, then the white dot appears. I think it. No, it won't. Yeah, it doesn't appear if I touch the left thumbstick, because that's like the flight control is the left thumbstick. The right one is for the cursor stuff, to look around. Actually, like their camera controls your right thumbstick. Sometimes I forget, and I'm trying to do stuff with the left one. I'm like, why is it not working? All right, how far out are we? 20. Oh, we got to start dropping some altitude, folks. All right. Let's see if they are on the list. They should be. I think we're close enough. Nope, not yet. Are they on the second page? There they are. Nashville. There we go. We'll get a little bit closer. We'll see our pattern entry. We'll go ahead and get in there. We'll put this thing on the ground nice and easy, and we'll be done. Thank you all once again for everybody coming in and hanging out today. Nice to see everybody here. I'll be back later with my good friend Mick, who will be on his virtual farm tonight. 1800 UK time, 1300 Eastern Standard Time, 1 o'clock in the afternoon for those who don't follow the 24-hour clock. We will be getting on his farm, getting some stuff done. So come in and hang out, have a watch, have a laugh, have a drink. We don't always farm correctly, but we do farm. We figured it out. So I'll be there tonight. Wednesday, I'll be virtual co-pilot for Mick on the Iron Maiden tour, flying the upcoming summer tour for Iron Maiden in Europe. We'll be on Wednesday. I do believe we will be in the 747. Big plane. Big time stuff. Let's get a set of flaps down just to get some. So once again, folks, if you're new to the channel, I'm your host and pilot, Uncle B. Once we start our approach, I get into the pattern entry, I'm going to take my eyes off of the chat and get the plane on the ground. I think we will, Mick. We'll sort it out one way or the other. I'll have a look here after I end the stream and see what we can come up with that'll work. So yeah, I will kind of keep my eyes off the chat. In the meantime, if you have a question, comment, concern, whatever the case may be, I'll be happy to try to answer questions. Yeah, we'll find something big enough. We'll sort it. Or, because I think there's an airport in Sweden that might be big enough. If we go from Bergen to Sweden, wait, oh no, wait a minute, let me look. If we go from Bergen to Sweden, from Sweden to Leipzig. Leipzig should have a large enough airport for a 747. We'll sort it out. We'll get there. We'll make it work. If not, if we can get the 747 on the ground and get the brakes applied and reverse thrust it and all that good stuff, I think we can make it work. It may be a bit of a challenge, but we may be able to squeeze one in there. But I'll look. Almost certain though, Leipzig might be. But we'll see. We'll make it. Yeah, I tend to focus on landing, and then once we're on the ground and taxiing to our parking spot, I'll catch up with the chat then. I'm wondering if you know what I'm wondering. I do have enough fuel. I'm trying to see if the ad thing, I'm worried that it's going to start playing here any minute now, and it's going to be one of my final approach. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and if it looks like you guys are going to miss the approach and all that, I'll maybe I'll just do a go around or make my way but not enter the pattern until after the ads are done running. Eat some more breakfast. I had a bagel and some coffee to get going this morning. Eat something else and then maybe take a little nap. So I'm rested for the farming adventure later today. All right, ads are running. I'm gonna take my time getting to the pattern entry, and then we'll go. And we'll be on. That is not our airport. That is a different. Where'd it go? Oh, there. Oh, there's our pattern entry, way over yonder. All right. Got plenty of fuel, so we can take our time to get set up for the approach. I'll try to wait as long as I can before we get into the pattern entry so you guys don't miss it. Driven through Nashville, never. I'd like to go back to Nashville and visit Nashville. To get down to about 5,000 feet before we get into the pattern entry. Alright, once the ad thing is green again, then we'll
bad thing. He's taking his time. All right. East turn that way. We'll make it there, and then we should be good to go on the yachts. Now this does have an ILS approach. And if I wanted, I could have set us up for an ILS approach. But I'll do it like this. Come on, bad thing. There's a small airport here. Oh, there it is. There's the airfield right there. See it? There's script there, and then see that? Boy, this thing is taking its reset. So that I know everybody can see what I'm doing. Alright, well, I'm just going to go ahead and line up, and hopefully it'll clear out and everybody will be able to see. Turn that off. Ooh, we're way high. Still, I thought it was going to be 5,000 feet, but apparently not. All right, there we go. Now the thing's green. All right, we still got to drop a lot of altitude here, so we're in a bit of a quick descent here to get some altitude bled off. Should have been down to. Nope. All right. Ooh, started to climb. That's not what we wanted. Turned kind of late there on that one. All right, here we go, folks. The bump coming up. There we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, I'd like to welcome you to Nashville, Tennessee. The time is 8:28 in the morning, I do believe. We understand and appreciate the fact that it's Monday. Everybody's mad that the weekend's already over. Do join us next time. I don't know exactly which day yet, but I do have a Discord, so if you want to follow me in what's happening, thank you, Mella, in the Discord, you can keep track of what I'm up to, and we will depart from here. I believe we will head up to Louisville, Kentucky next time. I have to look at where else do we got to land and make our way as we continue to go. Thank you, Joseph. Fuel? We don't need no fuel. We could go on another trip if we wanted to. Yes. Probably not. Who knows? But yeah, we'll have another flight in the near future. Try maybe a week from today, maybe later this on Saturday or something. Who knows? You just never know what I'm going to be up to. Might be up to no good. Never know. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's flight. If you did not enjoy the flight for any reason whatsoever, Joseph, Mr. Adams 23456 is the complaint department. You can always message him and tell him what you didn't like about it. I'm sure he will. Oh, the one-armed bandit. He will tell you. He will acknowledge your displeasure, and he'll file it appropriately. But if you wanted to just say hi to Joseph, you could always message him and say hi to him. He likes that as well. Send him a message. Say hello. Tell him how your weekend went. He likes to hear about those things. Just don't be surprised when he starts telling you about his new bed. He might take that as an invitation for you to hear about his new bed. But thank you everybody for coming in and hanging out. Really enjoyed it. Had a bit of a rant earlier. It's all good. This will premiere tomorrow, noon Eastern, on YouTube. So if you missed it, you can always watch the VOD afterwards, or you can catch it over on YouTube tomorrow at noon Eastern. Needs a rest. No, I'm fine, Mick. Don't you take the farm away from me, Mick. Don't you take the farm away from me tonight. I will be there. I will make it. Don't you take the farm away from me, mister. I will be there, ready to farm. I'm fine. I will take some more Tylenol later on. Let rest the arm, all that good stuff. So I will be ready. I can assure you. So yeah, a week from today, we should, if I don't do anything else later this week, we may do another flight of some kind. There we go. All right. Oop, we don't need fuel. We're not going to gas up here. Let's get the lights off. All right. Get the engine shut down. Oh, I'm good. I'm fine, Mick. Trust me. I'm okay. I will be there. We will get the farm done. I can assure you. All right. Battery's off. There we go. All right. 2 hours and 25 minutes. Not bad. Not bad at all. In all honesty, we did pretty well with that. So today's flight, of course, brought to you by Parasox Airline. Parasox Airline, just because you have a pair of socks does not mean they have to match. Airline CEO Scruffy Tam will show you his mismatched socks during the stream if you ask him nicely. If you use the command !socks, he will show you his mismatched socks. Anyway, that will do it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's flight. Really nice to see everybody here. Yeah, it did it, Mick? It went very well for almost 2.5 hours. Yeah, went very well. So, but thank you all once again for coming in and being here on a Monday. I know sometimes Mondays are the toughest days of the week because everybody's like, the weekend's already over. I gotta go back to work. But glad you all came in and hung out, and hopefully you started your Monday off right, or Monday morning, afternoon, whatever the case may be, wherever you are in the world. Until at least a week from today, the 13th, Monday the 13th. Thank you, Bella. Not Friday the 13th, but Monday the 13th. We'll probably do another flight, and then the next day I'll see what the surgeon says. Either he's going to be happy or he's going to be very upset with me. It's going to be one or the other. I don't think there's an in between. So we'll see how things go from there, and hopefully I get cleared to start physical therapy, and then we'll have to integrate that into our flying plans and all that. So anyway, do enjoy the rest of your Monday morning, afternoon, evening, early Tuesday for some folks around the world, wherever you are. You know, those time zones will get you. For some folks, it's already Tuesday morning, or early Tuesday morning. So I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until next time, whenever that may be, peace, live long and prosper.